Most people my age are either dead or sitting in a nursing home watching their bodies fail one organ at a time. I'm 98 years old, and last week I operated on a patient with a blocked coronary artery. Not supervised, not advised. I held the scalpel. My hands didn't shake. My mind didn't wander. And my heart, the same heart that's been beating for nearly a century, didn't skip a single beat. That heart has never had a heart attack, never needed a stent, never required bypass surgery. And I'm about to tell you exactly why. There's a fat I've eaten every single day for the last 60 years. Not sometimes. Not when I remember. Every day. And it's not the fat your doctor told you to eat. In fact, if you're over 70, there's a very good chance your doctor told you to avoid it completely. They were wrong. I'm going to prove it to you. My name is Dr. Harrison Wells. I've been a cardiovascular surgeon for over 70 years. I've performed more than 12,000 heart surgeries. And I've watched this profession get one thing catastrophically wrong for half a century. They declared war on the wrong fat. And that war has killed more people than I can count. Let me ask you something. If you saw a man nearly 100 years old with the heart of someone 30 years younger, would you want to know what he's doing? Would you listen if he told you the entire medical establishment had been lying to you? Not out of malice, but out of ignorance? Because that's exactly what happened. In the 1960s, the American Heart Association told the world that saturated fat was the enemy. Butter, eggs, red meat, all of it had to go. And what did they tell us to eat instead? Vegetable oils, margarine, seed oils. The very substances now linked to the inflammation that destroys arteries from the inside out. I watched it happen in real time. I watched patients who followed the guidelines get sicker. And I watched my own colleagues, good men and women who believed they were helping people, die of the very disease they spent their lives trying to prevent. Here's what nobody tells you. Your heart, your brain, the lining of every cell in your body, they are made of fat. Not carbohydrates, not protein, fat. And the type of fat you give your body determines whether those cells thrive or whether they slowly break down and fail. For 70 years, we've been told to fear cholesterol. And yet, every single hormone in your body is made from cholesterol. Your brain is 60% fat. The protective sheath around every nerve, that's fat. So when you starve your body of the right kind of fat and flood it with industrial seed oils that didn't exist in human history until 100 years ago, you're not preventing disease. You're causing it. Now, before I tell you what this one fat is, I need to make something absolutely clear. I am not a supplement salesman. I don't have a product to sell you. I don't have an affiliate link. I'm 98 years old. I don't need your money. I need you to live longer than the system is currently set up to let you. And that means you need to hear the truth, even if it contradicts everything you've been told. So here it is. The fat I eat every single day, the fat that has kept my arteries clean and my heart strong for nearly a century, is animal fat. Specifically, the fat from grass-fed, pasture-raised animals. Butter, tallow, the fat around a well-marbled steak. The very things you were told would kill you. Let me tell you what happens inside your body when you eat real animal fat. Not the garbage from factory farms, but the fat from animals that ate what they were designed to eat. First, it provides your body with fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin A, D, E, and K2. These vitamins cannot be absorbed without fat. They regulate calcium, prevent arterial calcification, support immune function, and protect your brain. You cannot get these vitamins from seed oils. You cannot get them from margarine. You get them from animal fat, and you get them in their most bioavailable form. Second, animal fat contains something called conjugated linoleic acid, CLA. This compound has been shown in study after study to reduce inflammation, support healthy weight management, and protect against oxidative damage to the heart. Third, and this is the part that will shock most people, animal fat does not spike your blood sugar. It does not trigger insulin. It does not create the metabolic chaos that leads to diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. Carbohydrates do that. Seed oils do that. Animal fat stabilizes you. I want to be very precise about something because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but Dr. Wells, didn't studies show that saturated fat raises cholesterol? Yes, they did. And those studies were catastrophically misinterpreted. Saturated fat raises HDL, the protective cholesterol that cleans your arteries. It also raises LDL, but it raises the large, fluffy LDL particles that are completely harmless. What damages your arteries is small, dense LDL particles, and those are created by sugar, refined carbohydrates, and industrial seed oils. Not animal fat. The science is clear. It's been clear for 20 years. But the guidelines haven't changed because entire industries are built on the low-fat lie. Now, let me tell you what I actually eat. Every morning, I have 2 pasture-raised eggs cooked in grass-fed butter. Not margarine, not olive oil. Butter. The yolks are deep orange because the chickens ate what chickens are supposed to eat, insects and grass, and that nutrition becomes your nutrition. I have those eggs with a piece of fatty bacon or a slice of bone marrow if I have it. Then, for lunch, I eat a salad with full-fat dressing, often made with tallow or duck fat, and a portion of fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, or sardines. The omega-3s in fatty fish work synergistically with animal fat to reduce inflammation and protect the heart. For dinner, I eat a well-marbled steak, lamb chops, or pork belly, all from pasture-raised sources, cooked in their own fat or in additional butter. I do not fear the fat. I seek it out. And I have never counted a single calorie. I have never restricted my food. I eat when I'm hungry. I stop when I'm full. And my body, at 98, functions better than most 50-year-olds I operate on. Here's what happened to the patients who didn't eat this way. I've spent 70 years opening chests and looking directly at human hearts. And I can tell you exactly what the inside of a sick artery looks like. It's inflamed. It's calcified. It's filled with soft, unstable plaque that ruptures and causes heart attacks. And do you know what we find when we analyze that plaque? It's not saturated fat. It's oxidized polyunsaturated fat from seed oils, corn oil, soybean oil, canola oil, the very oils that were supposed to save us. They didn't save anyone. They created an epidemic. I had a patient once, I'll call him Richard, 73 years old, came to me after his second heart attack. He'd done everything right according to his cardiologist. Low-fat diet, margarine instead of butter, chicken breast instead of steak, vegetable oil for cooking. He exercised. He took his statins. And his arteries were completely blocked. I performed a triple bypass on him. And during the surgery, I could see the inflammation. I could see the damage. And I told him afterward, Richard, if you want to live, you need to stop eating the foods that are killing you. I handed him a list. Butter, eggs, fatty meat. Eat these. Stop the seed oils. Stop the margarine. Stop the low-fat nonsense. He looked at me like I'd lost my mind. But he trusted me because I just saved his life. 6 months later, his blood work was better than it had been in 20 years. His inflammation markers dropped. His energy returned. And 5 years later, he's still alive and still eating butter every single day. Here's what I need you to understand. This is not about eating more food. This is not about adding fat on top of a standard American diet full of sugar and processed carbohydrates. That will absolutely make you sick. This is about replacing the toxic fats with real fats and removing the foods that create metabolic dysfunction. If you're eating animal fat, but you're also eating bread, pasta, rice, and sugar, you're still in trouble. The combination of fat and sugar is uniquely damaging. But if you remove the sugar, remove the refined carbs, and base your diet on animal protein, animal fat, and vegetables, your body will do something remarkable. It will heal. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Dr. Wells, this sounds extreme. It sounds dangerous. How can I trust this when my doctor says the opposite? Let me answer that with a question. How old is your doctor? How healthy is your doctor? Are they on medications? Are they overweight? Do they look vibrant and strong, or do they look like they're barely holding on? I'm not asking this to be cruel. I'm asking because you need to evaluate the source. I am 98 years old. I operate. I have no heart disease. I take no medications. My mind is sharp. My hands are steady. I am the evidence. And I am telling you, the guidelines that have governed nutritional advice for the last 50 years are not based on good science. They are based on industry influence, institutional inertia, and a fundamental misunderstanding of human metabolism. Let me give you the 4 principles I've followed for 60 years. Write these down. Principle 1, eat fat from animals that ate their natural diet. Grass-fed beef, pasture-raised pork, wild-caught fish, free-range eggs. The quality of the fat matters as much as the type. Factory-farmed animals are fed corn and soy, and their fat reflects that. It's inflammatory. It's low in nutrients. It will not protect you. Principle 2, avoid all industrial seed oils. If it comes in a plastic bottle and it's labeled vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, throw it out. These oils are extracted using heat and chemicals. They oxidize rapidly, and they create the very inflammation that destroys your cardiovascular system. Principle 3. Remove sugar and refined carbohydrates. This is non-negotiable. You cannot eat animal fat and also eat donuts and expect to be healthy. The insulin spike from sugar and carbs combined with dietary fat creates metabolic chaos. One or the other, not both. Principle 4. Do not fear cholesterol. Your body makes cholesterol because it needs cholesterol. Trying to suppress it with statins without understanding why it's elevated is like disconnecting your car's check engine light and pretending the problem is solved. I operated on a woman 2 years ago, 81 years old. She had been on statins for 15 years. Her cholesterol was beautifully low, and her arteries were completely blocked. The statins had done nothing to prevent her disease because her disease was not caused by cholesterol. It was caused by inflammation, blood sugar dysregulation, and oxidative stress from seed oils. I see this every single week. Patients with perfect cholesterol numbers and catastrophic heart disease. And I see patients with high cholesterol who have pristine, clean arteries. The cholesterol hypothesis is incomplete at best and dangerously misleading at worst. Now, here's where this gets personal. I'm 98. I don't have many years left. Maybe 5, maybe 10 if I'm lucky. I don't know. But what I do know is this. I have lived long enough to see medical consensus be completely wrong, hold for decades, and then quietly reverse without anyone being held accountable. I've seen the food pyramid kill millions. I've seen the demonization of eggs, butter, and meat create a generation of sick, weak, diabetic people who were told they were doing the right thing. And I've seen the truth, the real science, the clinical outcomes, be ignored because it didn't fit the narrative. I'm too old to care about the narrative. I care about you. I care about the 70-year-old watching this who's been told to eat margarine and is wondering why they feel terrible. I care about the 85-year-old on 6 medications who can barely get out of bed. I care because I know it doesn't have to be this way. Let me tell you what happened to my colleagues. The ones who followed the guidelines. The ones who ate egg white omelets and chicken breast and whole grains. Most of them are dead. The ones who are still alive are on blood pressure medication, statins, insulin, and they look 20 years older than I do. I'm not special. I'm not genetically superior. I simply ate the foods human beings are designed to eat, and I avoided the foods that were invented in laboratories in the last century. That's it. That's the secret. There is no magic pill. There is no shortcut. There is only the decision to stop poisoning yourself and start nourishing yourself. So here's my question for you. If you're over 70 and you've been eating low-fat foods for the last 30 years, how's that working out? Are you healthy? Are you strong? Are you on fewer medications than you were 10 years ago or more? If the answer is more, then the system has failed you, and it's time to try something different. I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm asking you to try it. For 30 days, eat real animal fat, remove seed oils, remove sugar, track how you feel, track your energy, track your mental clarity, and then get your blood work done. Look at your inflammation markers. Look at your triglycerides. Look at your HDL. I would bet everything I own that you will see improvement. And if you don't, then go back to what you were doing. But I don't think you will, because the human body knows what it needs. And when you finally give it the right fuel, it responds. Let me bring this all together. I'm 98 years old. I performed over 12,000 heart surgeries. I've seen the inside of more human hearts than almost anyone alive. And I'm telling you, with absolute certainty, that the fat you've been told to avoid is the fat that will save your life. Not seed oils, not margarine, not low-fat processed garbage. Real animal fat from healthy animals. Butter, tallow, fatty fish, egg yolks, the foods that built civilizations. The foods that our ancestors thrived on for millennia. Those are the foods that will protect your heart, fuel your brain, and give you the strength to live well into your 90s and beyond. I never had a heart attack because I never stopped eating the foods my body was designed to run on. And neither should you. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you been told to avoid animal fat? Have you been on a low-fat diet for years? Write that in the comments. I want to know how many of you have been living under the same broken guidelines that have dominated medicine for half a century. And if this video gave you a new way of thinking about your health, share it. Share it with someone who's been told their cholesterol is too high. Share it with someone who's tired, weak, and can't figure out why. That one share could change someone's life. It could give them 10 more good years. And that, to me, is worth more than anything. Take care of yourselves. Stop fearing the wrong foods. Start nourishing your body the way it was meant to be nourished. You deserve a long, strong, vibrant life. And you deserve doctors who tell you the truth, even when it contradicts the guidelines. Thank you for watching. Now go eat some butter. And one last thing. Everything I've shared with you today is based on 70 years of clinical experience, published research, and outcomes I've witnessed firsthand. But every person is different. Every body is different. Before you make any major change to your diet, especially if you're on medications or managing chronic conditions, please talk to your doctor. Have a real conversation. Show them this video if you need to. Ask the hard questions. A good doctor will engage with you. And that conversation, honest, informed, and specific to your health, that's where real healing begins.